What if you could stop just reading a chapter of the Bible and actually start building it right inside your own mind, like creating a mental blueprint that you can walk through anytime you want? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today with 1 Corinthians chapter 3. We're going to build it verse by verse so you never forget it. All right, let's jump right in.
So right out of the gate, Paul diagnoses a major problem with the church in Corinth. He's basically telling them they're stuck in spiritual infancy. They're acting like toddlers when they should be growing up. And he's about to show us exactly what that looks like.
Okay, verse 1, you can almost feel Paul's deep frustration here, can't you? Imagine a brilliant professor, totally ready to blow everyone's minds with quantum physics. But he walks into a lecture hall and it's full of toddlers. He can't get into the deep stuff. He has to start with the ABCs, calling them babes in Christ.
Then we get to verse 2, and he just keeps going with this idea. He's saying, look, I had this incredible, solid food, these deep spiritual truths, all ready for you, but I couldn't serve it. I mean, you wouldn't give a T-bone steak to a newborn, right? Their immaturity just made it impossible for them to handle anything but the simplest spiritual milk.
All right, verses 3 and 4, this is where he gives us the receipts. Why are they carnal? Because of envy, strife, and divisions. You can just picture a playground fight. One group is yelling, "We're on Team Paul," and the other is screaming back, "No way, we're on Team Apollos." They're picking sides, fighting over their favorite leaders, and it just shows they've completely, totally missed the point.
Okay, so after calling them out, Paul does something brilliant. He masterfully shifts their whole perspective. He's about to zoom the camera way out and show them that they're all focused on the wrong characters in this story. It's time for us to see the bigger picture.
And verse 5 just puts everyone in their place. Paul basically asks, who do you think we are really? He says he and Apollos are just mail carriers. I mean, think about it. You don't throw a party for the mailman, right? You're excited about the message inside the letter. They were simply the delivery guys for what God gave them. The focus was never supposed to be on them.
Now, verse 6, this creates an incredible picture in your mind. Picture this. One person, Paul, plants his single tiny seed in the ground. Then another person, Apollos, comes along and waters it. But then an incredible, unseen power takes over. A massive, vibrant plant just bursts from the soil. That's supernatural growth? Yep, that's God.
And then, verse 7 just hammers this point home. As that miraculous plant fills your entire view, you notice the two farmers, the planter and the waterer, they just seem to shrink into the background. They become almost insignificant. And that's the whole point. The workers are basically nothing compared to the one who actually makes things grow.
So in verse 8, he clears things up. They're not competitors, they're on the same team, working for the same purpose. You can just see those two farmers high-fiving, they're totally unified. And yet, each one is going to get a personal reward from God based specifically on the work they did. So they're a team, for sure, but their individual effort, oh yeah, that still matters. God sees that. Okay, verse 9. This is a huge turning point in the whole chapter. Pay attention to this. Paul says, we are God's co-workers. Then he points right at the Corinthians and says, you are God's field. But then, just like that, the metaphor morphs. The farm suddenly transforms into a massive construction site. You, he says, are God's building. Suddenly, the whole story flips from farming to building.
So following that big shift, verse 10 paints Paul as this master builder in a hard hat. He says he was given the grace to lay a perfect, unshakable foundation, but now he issues a serious warning to everyone else who comes along to build on it. He's basically yelling, watch how you build. Your materials matter.
So what is this one single foundation you can build on? Verse 11 makes it crystal clear. As we zoom in, we see the name Jesus Christ etched right into the cornerstone, and it's just radiating light. Any other foundation someone tries to lay next to it, human wisdom, their own good deeds, it just instantly crumbles into dust. Only Christ can hold the weight.
All right, verse 12. Now picture this, a split screen. On one side, you've got a builder carefully laying these beautiful blocks of gold, silver, and precious stones, materials that are valuable, strong, and pure. But on the other side, you've got another builder who's just quickly and carelessly stacking up cheap, flimsy, flammable stuff, wood, hay, and straw.
And then, verse 13. This is the moment of truth. A great day is coming, and it's going to be revealed by fire. Just imagine a wave of flame sweeping over both structures. Now, it's not there to destroy the builders themselves, but to test the quality of their work. That fire will reveal the true nature of the materials they chose.
So, verse 14, we get to see the first outcome. The fire pulls back from the structure made of gold and silver, and wow, it's not just standing, it's glowing. It's been purified by the flames. The builder's work has passed the test, and he's given this magnificent reward for a job well done.
But then, verse 15 shows us the other side of the coin, and it's tragic. The building made of wood, hay, and straw is now just a pile of smoking ash. The builder suffers this devastating loss. All of their work is just gone. Now the builder themselves stumbles out of the smoke. They're alive, they're saved, but they have absolutely nothing to show for their life's work. They escape, but just barely.
And just when you think you've got it figured out, verses 16 and 17 drop the biggest bombshell of the chapter. The camera pulls back from this construction site, and it reveals that the building is you. Paul asks, "Don't you get it? You are God's temple?" This isn't about some external project. This is about our very lives. And the stakes just got so much higher. Because this building, it's the sacred home of God's own Spirit.
Wow. So after that huge reveal, Paul moves into his final point. And he's about to take everything we think we know about wisdom and wealth and flip it completely upside down.
Verse 18 hits us with this total paradox. To become truly wise in God's eyes, anyone who thinks they're smart by the world's standards has to first become a fool. Just picture a proud scholar in a cap and gown literally throwing away their diplomas to become a humble, empty-handed student all over again. So why would he say that? Well, verse 19 explains it. What the world calls wisdom is just foolishness to God. It's like a clever mastermind setting this super intricate trap only to get caught in their own brilliant scheme. That's how God sees worldly wisdom. It's just a self-defeating game.
And verse 20 just nails it down. The most complex, impressive human thoughts, when they're separated from God, are futile. They're empty. Imagine a philosopher's fancy, complicated thought bubble just being gently popped by God, revealing that there was nothing inside it the whole time. And this leads to the absolutely breathtaking conclusion in verse 21, which brings the whole argument full circle. Stop boasting in men. Stop fighting over Team Paul versus Team Apollos. That's like clutching a tiny little trophy when the walls have just fallen away to reveal you're standing in a massive treasure vault that's been yours this whole time. And the last two verses, 22 and 23, basically give us the inventory list for that treasure vault. You don't have to pick between Paul and Apollos. You own them both. The world, life, death, the present, the future, it all belongs to you. It's this incredible chain of command. God, then Christ, then you, and then everything else falls under you.
And all of that leaves us with one final, unavoidable question. We are all building something on the foundation of Christ. A day is coming when fire will test that work. So the only thing that really matters is this. When you look at your life, your actions, your motives, your words, what materials are you using today?